It was really, really, really yummy.
This video is not sponsored.
This is what I meal prepped for the week. For breakfast, I made a frittata. The recipe specifically says, do not use regular whole mung beans. And you know what I did? I used regular whole mung beans. I couldn't find the mung beans that the recipe called for anywhere. Split mung beans? Like, I've never seen that in my life. I looked on the internet, I looked in stores, and by I looked in stores, my husband looked in the stores. He couldn't find them anywhere, so I had to improvise as usual. Because of this, I tried the recipe 2 different ways. One with the mung beans that she said not to use, and one with red lentils because they're split. They're yellow. I thought that this was going to be a huge fail, but I feel like it turned out pretty well. The frittata was made with soaked lentils, black salt. The black salt is what gives it that eggy flavor and that boiled egg smell. It smelled like real boiled eggs, like farts. Onion powder, coconut milk, chickpea flour, baking powder, avocado oil, tomato and red bell pepper, and red rind nut cheese. I used the wrong skillet. So many mistakes in this recipe. You're supposed to use a skillet that you can put in the oven. I used a skillet that you can't put in the oven, and I didn't realize this until I was already too deep in the recipe, so I had to improvise. I had to flip over the frittata using a plate. It was very scary. Like this, and then flip it, and then I cooked it on the other side, and then I transferred it to a baking tray, and then I put it in the oven. So technically it still went in the oven, it just I had to do a few other things, and I had to take some risks. I had to risk destroying the whole recipe and dropping it on the floor, but I did not drop it, so. And I baked in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. The red lentil frittata was really creamy, it was really delicious. It tasted like a savory pastry with just a hint of egg flavor. For the other frittata, it was made pretty much the exact same way, just using mung beans instead of red lentils, and I actually used a oven-safe skillet. The mung bean frittata turned out a lot prettier because I didn't have to flip it over and smush it, but it was green. I think I actually preferred the green frittata over the red frittata, so mung beans, they're key for this recipe. So I think the reason why she says don't use regular mung beans is because it makes it green, but if you're okay with eating a green frittata, then, you know, it's really no big deal. Altogether, this made 15 slices, which lasted a little bit under a week. For lunch, we have a tofu stir-fry with, of course, some improvising. It was made using basmati rice, tofu, soy sauce, lime juice, sesame oil, the best hot sauce ever. And I don't even like spicy things that much, but the flavor of this hot sauce is just wonderful. Peanut butter, mushroom blend, cabbage, bell peppers, garlic, and ginger. This recipe made a lot of rice. I almost didn't have the vessels big enough to contain all of the food that I made, but it turned out okay. It was really, really, really yummy and very unique. I don't think I've ever had a stir fry like this before. And the bonus, it was really easy and it made so much food that this actually lasted over a week. I would definitely make this again in the future. For dinner, I made a chickpea tomato peanut stew. It was amazing. It was made using coconut oil, bell peppers, red onion, garlic, Himalayan salt, a can of diced tomatoes, tomato paste, almond butter, coconut milk, and chickpeas. This made a lot of sauce, and it definitely lasted well over a week, which was great. It was also the easiest to make and probably my favorite recipe of the day. I love one-pot recipes because less dishes, less work, less trouble. It's just wonderful. This was amazingly rich and dense and creamy. I love those really rich, creamy, savory, salty, fatty recipes. They just, Some people love sweet things. Some people love fatty things. Some people love them all. I don't know what I'm saying. I love this recipe and I would definitely 100% make it again. I love you so much and I'll see you in the next video.